have a requirement that if a vendor provides services, they have to be paid. And certainly a candidate and a vendor both intentionally agreeing on, informally on that not happening is a great way to allow a vendor to make a massive contribution to a candidate. So in the case that I saw, and I don't mind the result, it worked out well for me, 4 years before I ran for city council, Ty Vahedi ran against Jack Weiss. And at the end of the campaign, he owed a vendor $30,000. We let him just close out his account, no action taken. 4 years later, that same vendor in a primary was able to do his virtually all of his printing, supply printing for bus benches, supply the bus benches because they were a bus bench vendor and a printer, do his mailhouse services and pay his postage and not get paid in the primary. Now, that resulted in him being one of the top 2 finishers, not someone else who might have been a stronger candidate. Worked out for me, so I don't care for me. But for the process, how do we not follow through on our own law, never follow through on our own law? And since it was the same vendor that had been stiffed the time before, it obviously wasn't a arm's length transaction. It was, okay, we've been allowed to give large contributions way over and above the city regulations. The Ethics Commission decided to do nothing. Now, if in that circumstance, and there have been others since, I mention that only because I've mentioned it before, so I don't have to go into others, but that seems to be a perfect example. So you have someone who made a personal contribution and owns 50% of a business that also made a contribution, and you catch them doing something inadvertent, and you'll go after them. But in this circumstance, so overt, so obvious, a violation in 2 successive elections, we did nothing. So if we do that, what's the real purpose of the Ethics Commission? Why in that case did you not do anything with it? Why in some other similar cases have we not taken action? And not just during the campaign, which would have been, from my view, perfectly appropriate, but even after the campaign.
Well, those are all very fair questions, and the Charter puts a huge requirement on us regarding confidentiality with respect to specific cases, and that's a very good thing in terms of protecting the parties that are involved. It sometimes winds up being frustrating for us because it can look like nothing has been done, when in reality we simply just can't comment on what has been done. It is frustrating for us sometimes to have to say we can't comment, and I understand how that can look in certain specific cases like we aren't doing anything, but things definitely happen with every single complaint that we do get. And there are a variety of reasons that a particular case might not move forward in terms of burden of proof and other considerations that we have to assess when we are moving forward on specific cases. In terms of why the Ethics Commission exists, we do enforce very vigorously the laws that are within our jurisdiction. We're also an excellent source of information for the public. The vast majority of the work that we do and the focus that I have tried to create is on disclosure and compliance up front. When people understand what the laws are and why they're important and how to comply with them, then those who are regulated and the public in general get the best bang for their ethics buck, because then people are complying with the laws and the public is made aware of the influences on city decisions, and that's all very good. So I think it's important to have an ethics commission. I think we do very good work. The staff, as I mentioned before, is just tremendous in trying to cover all of the bases, even as we're reduced by about a third as our other departments.
Well, I can't disagree with you with most of what you said. I think it's all valuable, and 99% of it, the Ethics Commission does more with less and does it better than we could even have a right to expect. Just 1% that I think is perhaps the most important 1%. Um, Notwithstanding what you said, I think Ethics Commission has been a complete failure, and it has been baffling to me. Like I said, I don't want to libel or slander candidates, but there have been a couple of cases succeeding those years that I ran, and things that I was just watching and had nothing to do with or interest in, where we really should have acted, and I don't believe we have.
Okay, Mr. Bonin, anything for ethics?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Holt.
Thank you
Mr.
very
Tristan. Appreciate your being here. Thanks for your good work. Members, we'd like to go